Okay, we are go ahead. I'm gonna go in live. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for once again being with us for another day. Alhamdulillah, we successfully completed the shikwa of Allama Iqbal last week, and we basically went through the entire series. We went through the entire poem. And now what we're going to be doing is we'll be introducing Jawab Shikwa today. And not only will we be introducing Jawab Shikwa, we'll inshallah go through the first two bongs of it. But we'll go ahead and start off with talking about the Jawab Shikwa. If you actually look at the on the screen, what I've actually put, basically I have this title here, Why Muslims Lost Their Glory. And we're going to see within Jawab al-Shikwa the response from Allah to the muqaddamah that Allama Iqbal had put together. We're going to see the response, the allegorical response, the metaphorical response that Allama Iqbal put together to talk about why exactly are Muslims in the state that they are in. So what we spent the last few months doing in reviewing the shikwa of Allama Iqbal is building the case as to, oh God, why are you putting us in this place when we've done our utter best to bring out whatever we need to do, that we have put forth our foot in fighting, in going out of our way and studying and going out of our way and working for your cause. But now, what is the reason that you all are in this position will be answered within Jawab al-Shikwa. And now, what was the reason, the response within the court from the opposition? What exactly is the reason that they are in the state that they are in? So we'll begin to see and we'll begin to see this culture unroll that Iqbal will speak about as to why the Muslims are in the state that they are in. Why is it that they are despised? Why is it that they have no power? Why is it that the world attacks them for their faith? Why is it that all these situations arise and have been arising? What exactly is going on? What is the mindset that has to be addressed? That's in general what we're going to go over. Dr. Saab, I'd welcome you, inshallah, to give us a bit more of an introduction to Jawab al-Shikwa, inshallah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Just remember that in 2011, although Shikwa was written in 2009, it became very popular after Iqbal presented it in an open session at that time. Excuse me?
You said 2009?
1909.
Okay, yeah.
1909. Yes. It had invoked a certain response, so to speak, or a certain inspiration within Muslim community in India at the time, and many people wrote in his following similar things. One person wrote a faryad addressing our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another one wrote certain extra verses in the shape of shikwa and whatever. As the discourse was going on for a couple of years, there was a whole lot of negativity about the way, the manner Iqbal had presented. So with that in background, here comes Jawab Shikwa. Again, without any fanfare, Iqbal wrote it but kept it to himself until he had appropriate audience in a big gathering in Lahore. And he presented this Jawab Shikwa in 1913, let's say, publicly. Now, in this Jawab Shikwa, it's a very masterful thing. In other words, if Iqbal was to simply start by this Jawab Shikwa and tell the Muslim community that we are not as good as we used to be, our ancestors were very good, we are getting away from our religion and this and that, then people would probably be offended. But what he did first was to complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gave all the reasons as to why we were really good and we were glorious. And now we are being treated this way. So in other words, he's putting it in such a poetic way that he is with every Muslim in India, speaking for them when he complains to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, putting all the responsibility on divine power, that if he wanted to, he could have really given us the same glory that we always had, but we have been now put in a very bad situation. Now, with that perspective, when he comes back with Jawab-e-Shikwa and answering all those things as if the divine, voice is coming, and answering all those statements that he had made as to how good we were and why we are in this situation, then it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, if you remember in Shikwa also, when he opened it, he basically explained as to why he was forced to actually, make a complaint to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, although it's not his place. And he said, there are dirt be in my mouth that I'm doing so. In other words, that was a way of saying that I know I am being very disrespectful, apparently, but I have no choice, and something within me must speak. Now, here in Jawab-e-Shikwa, the first 4 bandhs, each bandh is 6 lines. First 4 are basically setting the stage up. He basically says what happened when he made the Shikwa, and then how was it received by people that along the way before it went up to the divine, and then how everyone was conjecturing as to where is this voice coming from. And then after 4 original 4 bandhs, which I think we'll be following in a week or 2 weeks from now, then the divine response will come. So what you're going to hear today is basically a kind of a certain setting the ground kind of a strategy for him. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing that the way he approached this Jawab-e-Shikwa. I'm amazed that he was able to kind of put together these presumed kind of feelings that the angels had, the gatekeeper at the heaven had, and people around in the universe had. So it's a beautiful way of really giving a message to the Muslim community from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as to what your ancestors used to be and what you have become. And at the end, I think I'm going to mention that today also, so that we should keep that in mind. And with that perspective, we should really approach this Jawab-e-Shikwa. The whole essence and the spirit and the message of all of this Shikwa and Jawab-e-Shikwa is summed up in the last line of Jawab-e-Shikwa. And that line is Ki Muhammad se wafa tune, to hum tere hain. Ye jahan cheez hai kya, laho kalam tere hain. If you are sincere to the beloved Prophet and his teachings, then I am yours, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. And he says, well, what to talk about this universe? You can actually write your own taqdeer, your own fate. You can write whatever you want to be yourself with your own hand, with your own pen, if you were to follow my beloved Prophet. So in that perspective, all of these 36 bandhs that are there are going to be basically, Jawab-e-Shikwa's bandh 37, will be in that light. So unless somebody has anything that is not clear, I think we can go ahead with the first bandh. Any questions from anyone? I mean, there's volumes of work and volumes of talk one can do, but I think our emphasis has to be the lesson that is contained in this. So I think basically, if we keep it simple and instead of using our words, use Iqbal's words and explain those, that will be doing justice to his poetry.
Sounds good. Sounds good, inshallah. I'm actually going to make a request. I know that we changed the time, but just to reacquaint people, since it's a smaller group, if we could just quickly give a one-line intro from everyone that's here. I know it's about 7 or 8, just so it helps us just acquaint ourselves with our students, inshallah. So whoever would like to go first, just give us a brief a description. What's your name? Where are you at? And what do you hope to gain from this?
Assalamu alaikum. I'll go first, Nihal, since.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Sure. My name is Sajid Sayed, and I'm very ignorant about this whole subject. So I'm just curious to learn, and I try to immerse myself amongst intellectuals as yourself and try to hope I get some knowledge through osmosis. So inshallah.
Osmosis.
Yes. But this is I mean, I've my dad was very interested in Iqbal, and mashallah, he still is. And I'm hoping to learn from all of you, inshallah.
Firasat Malik.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm a retired doctor. I'm a cardiovascular surgeon, retired a year and a half ago. I just was interested in Iqbal and Shikwa, Jawab Shikwa. I have read throughout my life. I wanted to learn more by coming to this meeting.
Beautiful. Okay. I don't see any.
He's on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Abdul Wadud Mughal. And I have, as Sajid said, been hearing about Iqbal's poetry, and we enjoy his Ashabi used to start most of the things with. We remember the prayer that we used to do as children, but we really wanted to know a little more about that. And unfortunately, as Dr. Rahman had previously said, that we've just had Iqbal's Day not too long ago, and really I was saddened to see that it was not much more than that on Pakistani channels and how Pakistan celebrated him. So we really need to get our children, our youth, and even the adults really familiar with what his message is. And inshallah, this is an attempt to get us all a lot more familiar with this message and understand ourselves a little better, hopefully.
Beautiful.
Maryam Mirza.
Sure, I could go next. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm a resident of New Jersey. I was really happy to see that MCGP was creating this class, or just group in general. I particularly was not born in Pakistan, but my parents were. So I really have always had an interest in Urdu poetry. I actually have the Shikwa Jawab Shikwa book, but unfortunately, due to my limited understanding of some of the more, more formal Urdu lingo, I truly don't understand it to the full capacity. So that's what I'm looking to get out of this class.
Awesome. Sophia? Okay, I guess we can come back to her. Sarah?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sarah Hafiz. I am from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The reason I'm joining is I just want to be able to understand, Urdu better. And given that it is like my mother tongue, and understand, how we should navigate, our life based on the fact that we're Muslims, and especially as a minority Muslim. So a minority being a Muslim. So yeah, just some of the reasons why I wanted to join. And Jazakallah khair for doing this.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Shahrukh?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Shahrukh Javinda. I am a huge fan of Dr. Abdul Rahman Sahab, and commend this whole project by Sajid Bhai and Imam Nihal and everyone. Just want to basically get a better understanding of Iqbal and the background, geopolitical history of that as well. Looking forward to benefit from that. Jazakallah.
I'm just going to chime in here. Shahrukh is also our resident scholar in your absence, Dr. Abdul Rahman.
Yeah, most of us know it, mashallah.
Yes, yes.
Nice. Tariq? Tariq's iPhone.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, brother Nihal. Thank you. No, I enjoy this story. It's really inspiring, and it has deep meaning, and sometimes it's very inspirational. So thanks for sharing your thoughts and intellectual in this matter.
Alhamdulillah. And Sadia? I don't think Sadia is there. Sophia, are you back yet by chance? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Cool. We can inshallah just go ahead and
Did we leave anybody? Maybe somebody's listening and we don't have them.
yeah, I think two of them they're not able to unmute. So
okay. That's fine.
Yeah. All right.
So you want me to read the first one?
Yeah, inshallah. Let me just pull it up here. So I have this. Somebody accidentally drew this line. Oops. So inshallah, yeah, we can go ahead and dive right into it, inshallah.
Okay, बिस्मिल्लाह। दिल से जो बात निकलती है असर रखती है, पर नहीं ताकत परवाज मगर रखती है। कुदसी उल अस्ल है, रफत पे नजर रखती है। खाक से उठती है, गर्दों पे गुजर रखती है। इश्क था फितना गरो, सरकशो चालाक मेरा। आसमां चीर गया, नालाए बेबाक मेरा। This was reading it as it is. Now let me read it another way.
Yeah.
बात जो दिल से निकलती है असर रखती है, पर नहीं मगर परवाज की ताकत रखती है। असल इसकी कुदसी है, रफत पे नजर रखती है। That's a straightforward. खाक से उठती है, गर्दों पे गुजर रखती है। इश्क मेरा सरकश चालाक और फितनागर था, मेरा बेबाक नाला आसमां चीर गया।
Yeah, that's right. And I picked this specific picture over here to kind of put that into perspective about the power of light and going through the skies, and to keep that in mind. Now what we can do, inshallah, is kind of go through it a bit more. I'm going to go ahead and see if this will pull up on the screen. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, was there something else you wanted to say, Dr. Sam?
I just wanted to translate a couple of words here.
Yeah.
First line is easy.
Yeah.
Second one is par. Par is the feathers or wings. Taqat-e-parwaz is flying ability. Qudsi ul asl, by nature Qudsi. Qudsi malaika को कहते हैं, फरिश्तों को कहते हैं, नूर को कहते हैं। तो असल में ये मलाइका की जिन्स की चीज थी। रफत बुलंदी को कहते हैं, और गर्दों आसमान को कहते हैं, गर्दों का गुजर आसमानों पे। अच्छा, इसमें the topic here is baat.
Yeah.
He's talking about whatever comes out of the heart. So उसी के बारे में चारों लाइनें थी। ठीक है। आगे रह गया इश्क, इश्क your passion, your love. Fitnagar is somebody who creates a chaos and creates a battle. Sarkash is somebody who's rebellious. Chalak is smart or kind of a clever. और आसमां चीर गया नालाए बेबाक मेरा। नालाए बेबाक is my cries that were selfless. I didn't want anything for myself, but I basically put forward the case for others. So naalaye bebak is when I was crying for others. That is what actually tore through the skies.
Yeah.
That makes it easy now, I hope.
Yeah. I actually find these to be probably one of the more powerful segments of Jawab Shikwa. And not only is it so powerful, it's kind of like, if for those of you who've ever been to Six Flags, there's the King Ka roller coaster. It throws you out, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds or whatever, right? Like that's the feeling that these lines usually give me. And if you were to actually look at it, what is he saying? Dil se jo baat nikalti hai, asar rakhti hai. Whatever emanates and comes out from my heart, there is strength within it, right? There is a power within it. So there's power in the words that we speak when we've expressed our emotions, right? So what we're feeling in our heart, when it's being expressed by our words, those words have power. What type of power? Unme par nahi hai. Those are not words that have wings, because if you were to think that they have wings, then they should be able to fly. But those words are so powerful, taqat parwaz magar rakhti hai, that they don't have feathers, but they do have the power of flight, right? They do have the power of flight. And then he goes on and says, what? By the way, I says here, taqat parwaz. I guess there's some people write it as quwwat parwaz, taqat parwaz. Dr. Saab, I mean, I don't know if it makes much of a difference.
Originally is taqat, and we should not change it unless you don't remember it. You see what it is, if you are somebody who memorized this, and then after a year or so you have not read it, and suddenly somebody asks you, so you could say taqat parwaz or quwwat parwaz and not even realize that you made a mistake, because you are basically saying the same thing. So this is why in some versions you may see quwwat parwaz, but that's fine.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So the words that are being mentioned, there's so much power in them that they take flight, right? And Qudsiyul Asal hai, the reality that exists within these words is that they are angelic, right?
Yeah.
Angelic in their light, right? There's such purity to those words that they take flight. There's such lightness within them that they float right up, that they power right up. Right?
More than that, because their nature is angelic, means because they are coming from your spirit, from your ruh, and ruh is from the divine. He says by makeup, those words that come out of your heart, because the heart is the seat of your spirit in this particular context. So because angelic, they are actually belonging to a different world.
Yeah.
This is why they aim high, aim to fly high.
Yeah, aim to fly high.
This is very deep meaning of Qudsiyul Asl, because he's talking about baat jo dil se nikalti hai.
Yeah.
In other words, if it's coming out from that source belongs to the divine anyway. So that's why naturally it's from the divine, so it ascends to heavens.
I guess another word could also be it's sanctified. It's very sacred, right? It's also coming up in that sense.
No.
No?
Sacred also belongs to this world. No, we give those titles here in this world. But if something belongs to a different kind of a realm of life, then we will leave it as such, because it is something that came from there, going back there. That's the deep meaning here.
That's it, right?
Qudsiyul Asl.
Worldly, it's out of this world.
Out of this world. It is coming from that world, because that is the source of it anyway. If one was to comprehend just this, they would really know what the whole Jawab-e-Shikwa is and Shikwa is.
It's an out of this world experience.
Exactly, because this is coming from that part of the heart.
Yeah.
This is why he said, Dil se jo baat nikalti. Not from your mouth, not from your tongue, but from that part of your body.
Your heart. That's what we have to be.
Yeah, but this heart is a symbolic heart, not the one that pushes the blood. This is the seat of your soul.
Yeah. And those words that are coming from the heart, they have an effect, and that
exactly
effect,
because they are divine in nature. Yes.
Yeah. Rafat pe nazar rakhti hai, meaning it's looking at it. It's setting its sights on the horizon, right? On
exactly.
Ascent.
Yeah, beyond horizon. Rafat is way high up.
It's looking to soar, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the reality of it, the nature of it is shown. That it's coming. It wants to go so high, but it's coming from the lowest part, from the dirt.
Exactly.
Right, from the dust, from the dirt.
No. Khak se uthti hai. It rises away from this dirt, the world of dirt. In other words, he says, although it's rising above this, but it has its sights on the above the skies.
Yeah.
It has its path above the skies, guzar.
Yeah. So gardun pe guzar rakhti hai, that it's looking to soar towards the skies. It's looking to soar above the skies, past the skies, and just keep going.
It travels above the skies. That guzar rakhta means that's where it usually travels. It has nothing to do with this world made out of clay.
So we see that part as well. And then ishq ta fitna gar wasar ke chalak mera. So now he's talking about himself, right? That the emotions that are in these words, they were to some degree, they were going to irk someone, right? And they're rebellious and they cause commotion, but in essence, they were courageous and much more. And this is what's going to be talked about, that Asman cheer gaya in alfaz se.
Yeah, bilkul.
Right? Asman cheer gaya alfaz se.
It tore through the skies.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right? It basically tore through the skies. What was it? Nalai bebak mera. These selfless cries, these points that we had mentioned that we want to go out from, that we want to go through with, that they basically these words had such strength that they tore through the skies and they caused commotion and they were rebellious and they kept soaring high and high and high because of their angelic nature, because they had this strength of flight without wings, because those words were filled with true emotion. That's the main
One final point here, Nihal.
Yeah.
Here that in these two lines, the subject matter is ishq.
Mhm.
So Iqbal is not taking the blame for himself. He's blaming that passion, that ishq. He says the ishq within me was fitnagar. That was the problem. In other words, he says it has nothing to do with me. I did have that passion,
Yeah.
that unlimitless love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that particular entity within me, because it was rebellious in nature, was fairly clever and raises all kinds of havoc. That's why it came out, and I was just making a nala. I
Yeah.
didn't want anything for myself, but this passion of mine took it above the skies.
Yeah.
This, in other words, in the first one, in the first 4 lines, the subject matter was about whatever comes out of your heart, not your mouth.
Yeah.
And in the last 2 lines is the passion takes it up, that otherwise I would not have any courage to do it. But passion left me no choice. It was something given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will see this in the subsequent verses, that he's going to say all of that happened because I just was immersed in love
Yeah.
with Allah
Yeah.
subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes.
Very true. I guess we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Were there any questions or
Let's,
comments?
yeah, this is good. Let's hear any
I also
comments.
see Dr. Talat Sultan has joined us. Assalamu alaikum, Talat Bhai. We're just trying to make introductions. If you can say
A
Dr.
little bit
Talat,
about yourself, yeah.
maybe he's muted. Dr. Talat Sultan. Most people know his son, obviously, Imam Sohaib Sultan.
I see.
Okay. Let's continue.
Okay. पीरे गर्दू ने कहा सुन के कहीं है कोई. It should not be पीरे गर्दू. If you ask me, it should be पीर गर्दू ने कहा. मगर every नुस्खा has पीरे गर्दू, so I'll read it that way. बोले सैयारे सरे अर्श बरी है कोई. चांद कहता था नहीं अहले जमी है कोई. कहकशां कहती थी पोशीदा यही है कोई. कुछ जो समझा मेरे शिकवे को तो रिजवां समझा. मुझको जन्नत से निकाला हुआ इंसान समझा. Okay. Peer Gardu is the old skies, or Pire Gardu. I don't know who's Pire Gardu, an old man of the skies. So there is no such thing. So it's Peer Gardu, the old skies, the skies that have been there for a long time.
Yeah.
When the skies heard it, that's Peer Gardu to ho gaya. Aage Sayyare is the planets.
Yes, they are planets, right?
Sare Arshe Bari is on Arshe Bari itself, on the higher abode, the throne of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ahle Zami is somebody from the earth, from planet Earth. Kahkashan is the Milky Way, or the so Poshida yahi hai, chupa hua hai, somebody is probably hiding in the Milky Way.
Yeah.
Kuch jo samjha mere Rizwan is the guardian at the doors, gates of heaven. He Rizwan is the person that is in charge there. He has been there. He watches over entrances of the heavens, not heavens, paradise.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is easy.
Yeah. Yeah. This is very interesting because the other picture that I was showing was of the universe, right? And that's literally the allegory that's being set here, is that what's being said in the universe, what's being said amongst the skies, among the planets, among the moon, among the Milky Way. And
After they hear to this, he says, my voice reached everywhere. Now this is indirectly is mentioning that they all heard it.
yeah.
Now go ahead. Yeah. Then.
पीर गर्दू ने कहा सुन के कहीं ये कोई कहाँ से आ रही आवाज, right? Where is this
No,
guy
kahin hai koi, somebody is there. Somebody is saying something.
Kahin hai koi, there's someone somewhere, right? That's
Yeah.
like what it is.
Yeah.
There's someone somewhere saying something.
That had never been heard before. There is something going on.
There's someone somewhere
Yeah.
saying something.
Obviously, the skies couldn't tell. They could only hear. They said somebody is saying something is going on.
Yeah.
They never heard it before.
Bole sayyara, that the planets started talking, right?
Yes.
Sare arshe bari hai koi. That there's some noise coming from God's throne. Wahan wo
Yes,
Allah
that's
ki
right.
awaaz aa
From
rahi hai.
higher up. Yeah, this voice is coming from somewhere from higher up. They didn't realize where it's coming from.
Yeah. And it's funny, in my head when I was reading this, I imagine like there's some, you're sitting at a dawat and the old skies, the planets, the moon, and the Milky Way, and Rizwan are sitting together having chai. And literally they hear a thud from somewhere.
Right.
And the sky's like, yeah, awaaz kahin se aa rahi hai? Right? There's some sky, someone somewhere said something.
You
and
got it.
Like, I think it came from God's throne. And then the moon's like, no. I think it came from Earth.
Somebody on the earth, yes.
And the Milky Way is like, no, it came from somewhere in here.
Somebody must be hiding amongst us here. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there are too many stars there.
Yeah. But then after that, the narrator goes and he says, what? It's like, अगर किसी को कुछ समझना है मेरे बारे में, मेरे शुक्र के बारे में, तो फिर रिजवानी समझेगा. Right? And at the end of the day, मुझे जन्नत से निकाला हुआ इंसान समझा. And that's who I am, is that I am a person that's been removed from paradise, right? That first here, the planets are saying that sound is from somewhere near God's throne. And then Chand is the moon, right? We know that that's the moon, very straightforward. And then Ahl Zami, he's talking about who? The inhabitants of Earth, right?
Yeah.
Then, Kahkashan kehti thi, right? That the Milky Way is saying that Poshida yahi hai koi, right?
Somebody's hiding here.
Someone's hiding here between the stars, right? The Milky Way is saying that someone here within these stars, within these planets, that sound is coming from there. And Poshida hona ka matlab yani it's hidden, right?
Hidden. Chupa hua hona. It's an active act of hiding yourself. That's Poshida hona.
The act of hiding yourself.
That somebody's hiding here and coming within us.
Yeah. So then it goes that kuch jo samjha mere shikwe ko to rizwan hi samjha, that if there's anyone that understood the complaint that I had made, that the jo muqaddama mein bithaya hai, that the case that I made, then it's Rizwan who understands it. Ridwan is the guardian of the gates of heaven, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? Because mujhe jannat se nikala hua insan samjha, right? Because Rizwan understood, these words are coming from somebody that was kicked out of paradise, that was let go from paradise at the end of the day. Right? And that's what it comes down to, is that these words are coming out from somebody who was made to leave paradise at the end.
He said, I know this person. He was kicked out of here. This is the beauty of this whole band.
Yeah.
Rizwan is the only one who knows what humans are, because he saw us leave there. He saw Adam leave, be thrown out.
Yeah.
Other things had absolutely no clue about humans on earth. So it's such a clever way of saying that my voice went everywhere. Nobody knew me except the one who had seen me leave that. He was there when I left it, so to speak. He's saying that because he's the gatekeeper of the paradise and I was in paradise. That was my home.
Yeah.
So he's the only one that really knew that I must be complaining because he used to live here and he's no longer here and he probably has a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
It kind of gives the reasoning behind it and anatomy behind it as to why Rizwan is the one who knows me.
Yeah.
And nobody else.
It's actually very deep, right? It's
very, very deep. This is the fifth depth meaning of all of this band.
Yeah.
Basically is that I am the one that lived in paradise.
Yeah.
And I was thrown from there and I have legitimate complaint. I could make it. And if anybody would really realize what I gave up and why I am down here, all of that,
Yeah.
then that would be the Rizwan. So that is putting everything in perspective. Now with this in background, like you had mentioned, having a cup of tea and getting together, just imagine that scenery back there that you perfectly mentioned. If you're sitting there, Kakashan is there, Chand is there, all the planets are there being represented,
Yeah.
skies. The only one in that assembly that would really know my story would be Rizwan.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to add? Because I think this is a very, very telling section, right? And it's setting a stage,
Yes.
right? Setting a stage of the power of Shikwa, right? What did Shikwa cause? What did Shikwa do? What did Shikwa, what were the consequences of it? And we're seeing that kind of come to life here. Is there anyone that would like to add something about that? And there's a lot of you that are there.
Shahrukh, maybe if you can comment, we would appreciate that very much.
Jazakallah. I don't have anything to add because between Imam Nihal and between Dr. Abdul Rahman, I think they've covered most variations of how we can understand this better. The explanation, mashallah, is going wonderful. So thank you so much. I'm good.
Next month, if we have time, we'll really elaborate on this a little bit more.
Yeah, let me just open it up. Just pulling up
Please.
the other file. But Shikwa is has its place, but Jawab-e-Shikwa.
Oh my God, yes, Jawab-e-Shikwa in a poetic sense is 4 times much more deep and much profound than Shikwa was.
Yeah, oh for sure. All right, share the screen here. Okay.
Okay, थी फरिश्तों को भी हैरत कि ये आवाज है क्या, अर्श वालों पर खुलता नहीं ये राज है क्या, तासरे अर्श भी इंसान की तगोताज है क्या, आ गई खाक की चुटकी को भी परवाज है क्या. Just 1 second, let me just put that.
Yeah.
But I'll call you back in a few minutes, okay? I'm on a conference, sorry. Okay. गाफिल आदाब से सुक्कान ज़मी कैसे हैं, शोह गुस्ताख ये बस्ती के मकी कैसे हैं. Let me read it again in simple English.
Yeah.
फरिश्तों को भी हैरत थी कि क्या आवाज है.
Yeah.
ये राज अर्श वालों पर भी नहीं खुलता. इंसान की तगोतास क्या अर्शे बरी तक हो गई है, ता अर्शे बरी हो गई है. खाक की चुटकी को परवाज आ गई है क्या, क्या खाक की चुटकी अब उड़ने लग गई है. देखो जमीन पे रहने वाले सुकान जमीन जो जमीन पे रहते हैं, साकिन जमीन के जो है, साकिन कहते हैं ना उस पर्सन हु स्टैटिक इन अ प्लेस, और रहता है जहां पे, जहां उसका रिहाइश होती है. जमीन पे रहने वाले आदाब से गाफिल कैसे हो गए हैं, हाउ हैव दे फॉरगॉटन देयर मैनर्स. शोख और गुस्ताख, शोख इज वेरी brazen and kind of show off. Gustakh is somebody who does insults you or whatever, or does something that is disrespectful to somebody. Pasti is the lowest of the low, which is Earth, is the smallest planet, and by its nature, it's not as glamorous as other planets are. Maki is the people who stay there, जिन्होंने वहां मकान बना रखे हैं, जो वहां रहते. सुकान is साकिनान यानी रहने वाले. Pasti is the lowest, lower place, and Maki is the dwellers. Maki is dwellers also. Sukan or Maki means the same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then I think now you can go ahead and elaborate it in your way.
फरिश्तों की भी हैरत के ये आवाज है क्या, अर्श वालों पे भी खुलता नहीं ये राज. Right, that these people they're not people, they're angels, right? Arsh walo, right? They're angels. Even the angels are now talking, and now you see this build-up occurring. That even the angels, matlab unka haal hayrat ka tha, right? They were in a state of just disbelief, like what in the heck is going on here? You know, Arsh walon pe bhi khulta nahi ye raaz hai kya? That even this secret is not something that the angels are aware of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Raz,
Yeah.
Raz is a secret, right?
Yeah, when you say Arsh Wala, you include others also, Jinnat and whatever else, people of the higher abode. Even this secret is not even opening up to even the people of high places.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm.
And then here, Tasare Arsh bhi insan ki tak wataz hai kya?
Tagotaz.
Yeah, tagotaz. Can you expound on tagotaz a little bit?
Tagotaz is a place where your activity is, when you have a horse and you train him to run and this and that area where that one horse is running, that is the tagotaz, maqam tagotaz. For humans, we have the activity level only on earth. So he says, kya tasare arsh bhi insan ki tagotaz hai? Do the people living on earth, do they have the activity that going on up to the divine abode, up to the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Ta means up to, tak. अर्श के ऊपर तक क्या इंसान की तगोताज, क्या इंसान का दायरा अमल, circle of activity, is that, does it extend that high? We didn't know, because we thought he was only dwelling on earth. That's all the activity where he can do. But does he have access to up to the high heavens?
Yeah. So someone's trying to say something? Sorry. Okay.
Okay, the last line is aa gayi khaak ki chutki. Chutki is just a something that you can take between two fingers. A pinch, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aage khaak ki chutki ko hi parwaaz hai.
Right? ये कितनी खूबसूरत बात उन्होंने कितने सादे अल्फाज में कह दी है कि एक खाक की चुटकी को परवाज आ गई है. क्या
इसने उड़ना शुरू कर दिया क्या?
There's something else that I was thinking about, because he used khak, right? Khak was in reference to dirt or dust in the first line, but यहाँ पे असल में हम लोग सब तो खाक की चुटकी ही है ना.
I think that's what it is here.
Yeah.
It has our origin is from khak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Khaki hai. Dirt, right?
बिल्कुल.
तो भी परवाज है क्या? That even this pinch of dirt can fly?
Yes. आ गई means did it acquire it now? In other words, they know that it didn't have it all these centuries.
Yeah.
Now, did they acquire this? Have they learned it now?
Yeah.
ये थोड़ा तंजिया नहीं है ये बात, ये थोड़े वो तंजिया बात नहीं कर रहे.
बिल्कुल, they are astonished.
कि खाक, तुम इतने खाक को कि वो आपकी हैसियत क्या है कि आप उड़ना भी सीख सको.
Perfect. That is the spirit behind this line. You got it. Yes.
Yeah.
They are telling you,
it's actually sarcastic almost, right?
Exactly. They're putting you in your place.
In your place, right?
Yeah. We were the higher ones. We were made of light and noor and all that. And now this one also started to fly up.
Also acquired the power of flight.
Exactly.
And as they say in colloquial terms, lol, right? Have you, a pinch of dirt, also acquired the power of flight?
What do you mean lol? I don't know.
It's actually a term, laugh out loud, like hasi ki baat hai.
Oh, I thought it's lots of love.
That's how this is.
Well, that's why I see.
Ahead of your time.
Whosoever writes it to me, I think they are saying lots of love.
It means laugh out loud. Badi hasi ki baat hai.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Ghafil adab se sukkan zameen kaise hain? Right. At this point, right, what is it that they're trying to prove? Right. Ghafil adab se sukkan zameen kaise hain? Right. That unka jo rehna, sahna, unka salikha, tariqa, right? If I'm correct, they're saying that they don't even have proper adab, right? They're aware of that. These dwellers of the zameen, kaise hain inka rehna sahna?
Yeah.
Yeah. And shauq wa gustakh ye pasti ke makin kaise hain ye? Or kaise hain? So now it's saying, right, shauq wa gustakh. So shauq wa gustakh. Excuse me. Right? So you're just generally disrespectful.
this is actually following the previous line where he's saying कि ghafil adab ho और गुस्ताख शोख और गुस्ताख मतलब उसी की वही बात दोबारा और की जा रही है.
Exactly. Well, here is how it should be read. Look how oblivious and ignorant of manners are these earth dwellers. Now, this is a combined analysis of all those 4 or 5 elements that they were talking about us before. Now, all of them are putting this as their result. They said, look how ghafil adab, how they have forgotten the manners of these earth dwellers. Shokh o gustach. Shokh o gustach is somebody who is flamboyant and also mischievous and disrespectful. And he's comparing that shokhi o gustaki jo hoti hai, wo koi isi ke ahl, if somebody is capable of doing them, that should do it. But how this pasti ke maki, the people who are living so low, lowest of the low, how could they be so flamboyant and this and that? So beautiful words chosen. Ghafil adab se sukkan zami and shokh gustakh pasti ke maki. So this is the combined narrative of these higher beings, higher entities. Okay, they're talking about how have these earth dwellers become ignorant of their mannerisms, and how they have become now mischievous and disrespectful.
Dr. Saab very rightly pointed out that if the previous verse was sarcastic, "Aa gayi khaak ki chutki ko bhi parwaaz hai kya," if that was sarcastic, this last one, "Shokh gustakh ye pasti ke makin kaise hain," this one is basically a slap on the face.
Exactly.
You ought to not forget your place in the scheme of things, because adab jo hain wo ye hain ke you're not supposed to break the sequence of hierarchy basically, and you are the lowest of the lower. So hierarchy mein aap logon ka kahin maqam nahi hai. So never forget your place, because hum pasti ke maki hain. So if the previous one was just LOL, this one is basically a slap on our face that you ought to stay in your place.
This is the result of those 4 lines. 4 lines are the reasons why at the end they say you are ghafil, adab se, and you are shokh and gustakh. This is final word. They have given that statement. By giving the explanation on top, they have now said they are ghafil, adab se ghafil hain, और ये शोक भी हैं, गुस्ताख भी हैं.
जी.
ये फाइनल उनका जवाब है. कैसे हैं? ये नहीं कि हो सकते हैं, नहीं हैं. Look how kind of forgetful of the manners these people are.
And I also say, keep in mind, shikwa has already been said, right? Shikwa ka parwaaz to chal chuka hai, right?
Right.
And now I think, Dr. Saab, this is fair to say, this section, this band, it's basically putting together what the feelings of shikwa will be throughout shikwa. Matlab le thappad de thappad, I like to say.
Well, this Iqbal is just trying to.
Jo tanbi abhi hone wali hai, this is going.
He's just trying to say what was the reaction of other beings.
Yeah.
Before it gets to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how others felt about it, and he's coming through beautifully. And then the next month will be a little bit more.
Yeah.
If we have time, I don't know.
The session that I'm thinking of in my head, it's like, कोई इंडिया या पाकिस्तान या बांग्लादेश में कोई सरकारी ऑफिस में काम करता है, उसने कोई कंप्लेंट फाइल की, और before it gets to the big boss, everyone seeing that complaint is like, what is this? Or it's like you file something with your HR department and the ridiculousness of what you're saying for whatever reason, right?
Yes.
But like, you may say that, oh, so-and-so hit me. Yeah, well, you hit them first. So why is it you're not mentioning that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would welcome more discussion about this, because this is what Jawab al-Shikwa is going to be. Jawab al-Shikwa, the tone is being set here. The angels are thinking to themselves that what a last wonder is this, that even the angels and the jinns and the dwellers of the higher abode are saying that this secret is basically for them as well. Arsh walon pe bhi khulta nahi ye raaz hai. Yeah, like the secret is not even for them too, right? That this area of activity is also extended to the earth dwellers now as well too, right? This pinch of dirt also has taken flight. You have a pinch of dirt, तुम एक मिट्टी के जो कतरे हो, right? You've also acquired the power of flight. Okay.
Pinch and dust, yeah.
You know, like ghafil adab se sukkan zameen kaise hai, that you live on this earth and look how heedless you are, right? Ghaflati zindagi guzari hai tumne, right? Koi adab nahi, koi tariqa nahi, koi salika nahi, and the aspect of salika is going to be mentioned in the next bang, which we'll go over next week. And then on top of that, you're just generally disrespectful, right?
Yeah, instead of you, we should say they. They are just addressing the entire human race.
Yeah.
In a third person. They are not addressing directly. They are making a statement about them. See how these people are. See how oblivious to their manners these people are. These are the entire Sukhanazami. It's not addressing Iqbal or anybody. No, not addressing the person who's making noise. He thinks it's coming from the earth, from humans, must be something from them, from all of them. So this is why this is saying Sukhanazami or Pasti ke Maki is all of the humans. Because now they have a clue that it's coming from humans, from earth.
Yeah, yeah.
डॉक्टर साहब क्वेश्चन ये यहाँ पे इंसान की तगोताज आपने बताया कि दिस इज एरिया ऑफ एक्टिविटी सो तगोताज और तगोदौ नॉर्मली इट इज यूज्ड इन द सेम सेंस
एग्जैक्टली ताज में थोड़ी सारी रीच भी आ जाती है दौ में दौड़ होती है सिर्फ
करेक्ट
तग इज द एनर्जी दौ इज दौड़ activity and their point where they up to point that they can run. Taz has a little bit more. It could include even flight or whatever else you can do. Right. So Tagotaz is a little bit broader part of Tagodau. Tagodau is a limited jadojuhud against something activity that may have finite borders.
Yeah.
Tagotaz has a little bit broader and higher reach.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Saab, I had another question. I know that you've written, the book that you did on Shikwa and Jawab Shikwa. Do you have any other publications related to Jibreel or Iblis or Majlis Iblis or anything like that?
I have, but it's not published. No, I have done the work, and what I'm trying to do is put about 15 or 20 other nazms of Iqbal and then put Shikwa in it, and then give it to all the universities here in America.
Yeah.
For the students that might take Urdu.
Yeah.
So that is almost ready. I just have to, get it published. But yes, I do. I have other small nazms translated in the same manner. But I think the people that are on this on this particular activity, they should all have that Shikwa book.
Yeah.
Just to help so that you can, go through it, read it. Try to make it as easy as possible by giving the dictionary, the logot, the meanings of the difficult words, writing it in Roman English so that anybody who can't read Urdu script can still read it across. So, yeah.
Agreed for sure. Awesome.
You have only 2 minutes left. You want me to finish the next one so that the next week it'll be totally a different perspective, or should I wait for the next week?
I think it may make sense to wait, just because I think we're at the end of time.
Good.
Yeah, inshallah.
Even 3 is a lot to cover in one session.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, everyone. Jazakallah khair. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Please spread the word. Let your friends and family members know. We'd love to have more people in. Dr. Saab, if people want to get a copy of your book and they're not local, how can they get it?
Just contact you, me, or whosoever. Let me know and get the address and I'll mail it.
Okay. Sajid, would it be possible to maybe make a Google form or something so that
Sajid has quite a few copies already.
Yeah, I have 100 copies here. So
let Sajid please make it available if you can. They can.
If you can just post it on the message chat, we'll mail it.
Yeah.
Mariam, if you can just post your address here.
Or would it be better to just email you? Because I think once I close this out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I'll just write my email right here. And you can just make a dua, Imam Nihal.
Sure. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa barik wa sallam. Ya Allah, we ask you to open up our hearts and give us the ability to be Muslims who live and die by La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Oh Allah, we ask you to make us beneficial vessels that are able to take what we learn and firstly change our own hearts and ourselves, and then change the hearts of our family members and our community. And oh Allah, we ask you to bless this study of Iqbal's Jawab-e-Shikwa, so that we can, inshallah, create a community that is able to believe in itself and move forward on what it believes.
Ameen. Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Thank you.
Wa
Walaikum
alaikum
assalam.
We'll meet again next week, inshallah.
One last
Inshallah.
question I had was, are you posting this on YouTube, Imam Nihal?
It's on Facebook. Yeah, it's going to the MCGP Facebook.
Okay, great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Was it live?
It was live. Yeah, it's live.
Okay, very good.
Yep. All right, salam.
Alhamdulillah.
Jazakallah.
Very good.